Okay, this is the beginning of the journey, I guess you could say. You see the title. It's whatever I decided for it to be. Probably something along the lines of fat acceptance, fat people, fat women, and moral laziness. I have a theory, and that theory pertains to why fat men are more accepted in society than fat women. And it's because of this. Well, for one thing, this biologically, psychologically, whether it be actual muscle or fat, it looks less, it's less jarring to see a large man than a large woman, because a man is supposed to be larger than a woman. It's called sexual dimorphism. But also, there's another angle to it, because fat men are just fat. They're not husky, they're not chubby, chunky, they're fat. John Candy was fat. Chris Farley was fat. John Goodman is fat. Kevin Smith is fat. Who else? Anthony Anderson used to be fat, and he actually lost weight. And let me make that point. You're more likely to see a fat actor or singer lose weight than a fat actress or female singer. You are. And yet that fat actress or singer will still claim that she's sexy. It is the dumbest thing. And it's that false self-esteem. Because like I said, fat men are told all the time that they're fat. Made fun of because they're fat. But fat women, oh, they have all these dumb terms. A lot more to love. Big and beautiful. Pleasantly plump. Healthily husky. A bunch of dumb stuff that these women use to try to, create some false sense of self-esteem for themselves. And it's because of that they don't come to terms with their obesity, and thus they get defensive when you point it out. Because here's the thing, before you fix a problem, you have to admit the fact that you have it in the first place. That's what's wrong with black people. We don't want to look at our flaws, and then when someone points it out, if they're white, they're racist. If they're actually black, they're up top. Back to this whole weight thing and the whole fat acceptance movement. It's born out of moral laziness and physical laziness. Not wanting to change their health and diet, exercise plan. They won't do it for their health. They won't do it for their man, their children. And it's especially disgusting amongst young women. Especially young women who think men are dogs or shallow for not being attracted to them. And it's namely, let's be honest, it's namely fat black women. Namely dark-skinned ones. Because a lot of the fat white women I know that aren't just straight up trailer trash, like the middle to upper class white women that I know that are fat, they know that they're fat. And so they compensate for it by being sweet and nice and bubbly. The fat white girls that I know at my church are nice and sweet and bubbly. A fat girl that goes to my school is nice and sweet and bubbly, and will admit, yeah, I'm big, I'm fat. They actually realize that they have the problem, and even if they don't change the problem, they compensate with it by their personality. That's why fat men are usually more accepted, because they're not as insecure about it, because they admit that they're fat, and so they compensate for it by usually being funny, being nice, being jolly, being a Santa Claus type dude. But most of the ghetto stereotypical black women, act like men, look like men in the face, are, like I said, very rotund, and usually at young ages. But, of course, they'll still end up pregnant with a whole bunch of bastard kids, because, unfortunately, a lot of us black men are thirsty as a camel in the desert. We will sleep with anything, and anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. no matter if they have kids, they have even standards. They will sleep with them just to get some, some action. And considering how quote-unquote churched the black community is, that's really kind of disgusting. But that's a whole nother video. So yeah, like I said, I'm convinced that fat women are insecure because they don't want to. They have not been forced to come to grips with the fact that they're fat. Same thing with dark-skinned women, because dark skin itself is not unattractive. It's first off with black women, it's the testosterone that gives the masculine features that come along with that dark skin, and also the attitudes. Because most dark-skinned Indian women look better than most dark-skinned American black women. They look more feminine. Even the fat ones look more feminine. They look more ladylike. They act more ladylike. They act more motherly. They don't get on Twitter and brag about beating the crap out of their kids. They don't get on Facebook and talk about their baby daddy drama. They don't get on YouTube and make stupid videos talking about they're thankful for their white daddy. The welfare check. And it's because black women and dark-skinned ones have not had to come to grips with their flaws like black men have, that they're insecure about it and they'll get defensive. Likewise, fat women of any race are the same way. And so they'll try to make men feel bad for not feeling attracted to them. Well, here's the thing. If you were that strong and that independent, that strong of a woman, you would just move the heck on. If a man wasn't attracted to you, you wouldn't try to force the issue, because then that would make you realize, wow, I kind of am unattractive. If I try to force someone to like me, be it in a romantic, sexual sense of liking you, or just as a friend, if you have to force the issue, then there's probably a reason that they don't want to be your friend, that they don't want to go out with you. And when you especially see women doing this with celebrity men who they have no chance with, get mad at Tyrese for calling out fat women and fat people, even though when he made those comments, he was talking about himself when Will Smith told him that he should probably lose some weight. But fat women, namely fat black ones, felt that he was targeting them when he said nothing of the sort. That's how insecure they are. They think you're targeting them when you're not. So yeah, this is a little theory. First video. See how this goes. Hopefully this mic isn't too crappy. See where it goes from here.